All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Makakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. And the elect begins with the 144,000. YAHAWAH, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jehovah. BAHASHAM is in the name. YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. The Rakakwa doctrine shares the Holy Spirit. I'm the brother Iwalumia with the GMS Chicago camp out here in Chicago. Come back at you with another lesson. And Lord willing, I hope this lesson be edifying to the hopeful righteous elect, the ones at the household of faith. Once again, I hope this lesson be edifying. You know, the Lord gave me the inspiration, the spirit to do this lesson based off the elder apostles to Hars. You know, subscribe to the elders channel, GMS Declaring the End. And title says this thing, which is referring to the Rfid C-hip, which is the MOTB. You know, according to what? Revelations 13 and 16. It says it's now opening the door and stamping in. And right, we're coming into a time where the MOTB, which is the Rfid C-hip, which is a very important prophecy that you need to know. You know, what is the MOTB? And like I said, it's the Rfid C-hip. You know, starting from my elders and apostles on down, been teaching for a very long time that when this thing come to pass, ultimately, you know, as you read Revelation 13 and 16, you read Revelation the 3rd chapter, you know, to try them that dwell upon the earth. But ultimately, you know, Esau Edom, you know, is using gradualism to ultimately bring this thing in, you know, little by little, you know, ultimately condition the people's mind to ultimately when this thing truly do, you know, be implemented across the four corners of the world, that these people, a lot of these people is going to accept this thing with open arms, man. You know, because what? Esau Edom has, you know, been bringing this thing in, you know, stage by stage, bit by bit. And it actually, you know, reminded me of the word gradualism. You know, how Esau Edom is, you know, stage by stage, ultimately is implementing this thing, you know, bit by bit. So I just went into the, you know, for the meaning of the word gradualism. And this is ultimately what I found. It says, what is the simple definition of gradualism? It says the policy of approaching a desired end by gradual stages. And I've been approved, you know, give examples of what that is. You know, with the whole, I believe maybe like I say like in the past, maybe 15 to 20 years, you know, Esau Edom, you know, basically introducing the system of tap and pay, things like Apple Pay. You know, you have, you know, public transportation cards called venture cards where you can easily tap, you know, to ultimately tap to pay for things, you know, just an easy tap, you know, to get you, you know, to pay for certain things or get you into like a public facility, you know, easily compared to I say, you know, where you can you know, just insert your card, you know, type your numbers in to ultimately pay for something. But Esau Edom, you know, using this thing called, you know, things like Apple Pay, you know, you tap your card to pay for things. You know, these are the, you know, the small steps that's ultimately reaching up towards the MOTB, which is the Rfid C-hip. It says, I'm going to read this first part again. It says, what is the simple definition of gradualism? It says the policy of approaching a desired end by gradual stages. That's what Esau Edom, you know, has been doing. He's ultimately conditioning the minds of the people. Because like I said, once this thing ultimately be implemented, when they really push this thing heavy, it's not going to be a lot of fight back. It's going to be fight back, but it's not going to be a lot of fight back when ultimately Esau Edom, you know, introduces this thing. Because what? Over the course of many years, Esau Edom has been what? Ultimately, you know, conditioning the minds of the people, you know? And I had, you know, searched up a few examples of that, you know, tap, you know, venture cards, you know, you have a chip in your credit cards, you know, you can tap, you know, the scanner, and then what? You can pay for your things by, you know, an easy tap, you know, things like that, you know? Like I said, Apple Pay, you know, things like that. You can have a picture, you know, on your phone of your, you know, whether it be a debit or credit card, you know, you could tap it with your phone and what? You could pay for your items just like that, you know? So ultimately, once this C-hip gets, this Rfid C-hip gets what? Implemented across the four corners of the world, hey, a lot of these people is going to accept it with open arms, you know? Because convenience, a lot of these people love convenience. You know, easy, you know, basically easier way to do things. It's going to get a lot of people destroyed, you know? And we know that, what's that, the judgment of you taking that C-hip, what's that, Revelations, the 14th chapter? You know, you're ultimately going to, you know, you're going to melt, you know, by the way of these thermonuclear missiles, you're going to be destroyed, you know? See another one. See how, you know, it has the chip in the cards? You could just easily tap and pay for certain things, whether it be going on a public transportation, whether it be buying food, buying different things. A easy way of payment is people actually they tap, they pay, and they go. So ultimately, once this RFID C-hip gets implemented, a lot of people is going to get it. Let's actually just get the prophecy on it. This is the book of Revelation 13 and 16. It says, he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor. Let me actually see, can I go at one? Revelation 13 and 15. I'm going to start at 15. It says, he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right? Ultimately talking about this new world order, man. Because what? Esau Edom is trying to ultimately implement his new world order, which is what? The image of the beast. And what? Let's go ahead and see what that MARK is. Because ultimately this RFID C-hip is a big part of the new world order. It says, verse 16, it says, he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right, it says he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or their foreheads. Who is the he? The elites of this society. Because you got to understand, the elites of this society, they control everything. If you go back and basically find this on YouTube, or if you scroll to different things like TikTok, whether it be Instagram, you can find the interview of Aaron Russo. Basically talking about their plans to ultimately have the whole world micro C-hip. It says he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. So it don't matter if you're a Bill Gates in this society, or if you're a Jake locked up in prison, or somebody homeless. It says both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and their foreheads. And this is going to be the new form of payment, which 17 is going to jump into. But actually, let me actually go to the Blue Letter Bible just real quick, because we're going to go into that word mark. Because a lot of these other camps, they don't teach what the MOTB is, man. A lot of them say it's the white woman, an embargo, and that's completely false, man. And like I said, this is one of the last few prophecies, to come to pass, But let's go into that word mark. Say G Charagma, G54, what's that, 82? Charagma. It says a stamp, an imprinted mark. It says of the mark stamp on the forehead or on the right hand, as in the badge of the followers of the anti-Mashiachs. Right. So ultimately, this is that's that imprinted mark, the RFID C-hip. The ones, as I read in Revelation 13 and 16, he called all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma, which that word mark goes into the word goes back to the word charagma. It says the mark branded upon horses, thing, carved, sculpture, graven work. It says going to the Strong's definition, it says a stamp as a badge of servitude, or sculpture, figure, statue, graven mark. Right. So ultimately, let's go back. So ultimately, when this system be really implemented, and it's going to be implemented, we're in that time right now, man. This is going to be the new form of payment. So you're going to have to get, if you want to participate in society, you're going to have to get that RFID C-hip in your right hand or your forehead. But let's continue. Verse 17 says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Right. So this is going to be the new form of payment. And like I went back to the word gradualism, just breaking that word down, Esau Edom has been conditioning the minds of the people for a long time, with the form of different things like tap and pay, Apple Pay, having the chips in your credit and debit cards where you can just easily tap, just tap the screen as a payment method. You could just tap and easily pay for all your things. Esau Edom has been conditioning the minds of the people, without them even knowing it. You're accepting, you're by stage, when this thing really get implemented, man, it's not going to be a lot of kickbacks from these people, because what? They've been conditioned for a long time. it says, verse 18 says, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for the number of a man, and his number is 636. And right, that is the MOTB, man, the Rfid C-hip, which is a very important prophecy, a prophecy, starting with our elders and apostles on down, is looking for heavy, And like I said, going back into gradualism, man, the Esau Edom has been conditioning the minds of the people for a very long time. So this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, better known as Sirach 14:7. It says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. Right. What is the thing that, seemingly that he's doing good, the things that he's setting up in society, man, the convenience, you being able to, to tap your cards, for an easy form of payment and different things like that. Basically, conditioning the minds of the people, which Esau Edom is doing, to ultimately have them, get in line. So when this thing ultimately do come to pass, this MOTB, which is the Rfid C-hip, a lot of these people is going to willingly line up to take it. It says, if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. As Sirach, the 12th chapter says, never trust thy enemy. Let's just get it real quick. Because a lot of people trust Esau Edom. And if you put your trust in this society, you're ultimately going to put, your trust, when this thing do come to pass, you're going to put his trust, and that mark he's ultimately going to institute out. This is the book of Sirach 12:10. It says, never trust thy enemy. It says, for like as iron rusteth, so if it's wickedness, as I read back in that Sirach, if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and then at the last he shall declare his wickedness, Because ultimately you have to understand, ultimately Esau Edom wants to become like the Most High. He wants to proclaim his place as being the Most High. He wants to be like YAHAWAH, and that's a part of his new world order. His goal is to become like the Most High. It says, verse 11 says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Right? That's the MO of the so-called white man, starting with these elites, man. Because the things he set up in society, basically for the people, is ultimately against you, to get you in a comfortable state, to have you docile, and that's how the white man come with certain things. He presented in a nice way. He presents in a nice way. He presented to you. If you do such and such, you're going to gain such and such. And a lot of these people is going to fall for it. Like they're falling for the different things right now, by the way of gradualism, man. Because a lot of these people think that the things that's going on right now is convenient, but ultimately knowing, but their minds is getting adjusted, into what? Receiving this this mark, which is what? The Rfid C-hip, And this is a part of Esau Edom's new world order, to ultimately have you people as slaves under him, that he may proclaim his place as being the Most High. This is the book of Isaiah 29:15. It says, woe unto them, woe means destruction. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? And right, a lot Esau Edom, starting with these elites, is doing a lot of things behind the scenes, man. Present certain things into the public, to ultimately, starting with our people, to put our people in the bind, to make our people go off. Esau Edom is doing a lot of things behind the scenes, man. And they think that, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI don't see what they're doing, but ultimately they're in a trick bag, because ultimately, they're working on the left-hand side, and who controls the left-hand side? YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, So ultimately Esau Edom is in a trick bag. So he think, he's doing all this, he's not being held accountable for it. But what? Ultimately he's in the trick bag. He is being tricked by YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, man, for the different things that he's doing. He think he's getting away with a lot of things. He think his new world order is going to come to pass, by pushing, step by step gradualism upon the people. He think everything is good, going good, going fine, going dandy. But no, it's ultimately for, set up for him to fail. But let's get this last precept. This is the book of Job 5:12. It says, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right. Another word for enterprise is new world order, And everything that we have been seeing is a part of Esau Edom's New World Order. You know, going back to the word gradualism is a step-by-step process of Esau Edom, you know, basically introducing certain things to condition the minds of the people to make them docile. So when this thing do come to pass, a lot of these people will willingly take it, you know? And this is where we're at right now, man. A lot of people is living comfortably. And that's another thing. A lot of these people do not want to live uncomfortably, you know, when, you know, because ultimately, you know, to be a part of society, you have to accept this Rfid C-hip, you know, and a lot of people do not want to be X'd out of society. You know, Esau Edom is, you know, using these certain things, you know, to basically condition the minds of the people, you know, but ultimately his new world order is going to fail. You know, it's only so far that this devil is going to go, you know, before he's taken out of power, you know. But that's all I wanted to really jump into, you know, Lord, and I hope this lesson was edifying. So I want to end up with giving all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone that taught us the truth, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. Lord, and I hope this lesson was edifying. Till next time, Kwame Yasharala, Shalom, and the Bar.